1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yep. Got it.
They've done it again. Johan Durant and Steven Mitchell are the APTA national champions for the second year in a row.
There you have it, your women's APTA national champions, Florentina Harnisch and Anna Maria Sabori.
Boston Golf Club. Gold sponsors Bully Boy Distillers and Owl's Nest Resort. And silver sponsor Narragansett Beer. I'm Brad Easterbrook alongside Mark Fischel, who's virtually with us today. Bring you men's semifinal round action between our number 1 seeds of Johan Durant and Steven Mitchell and the number 3 seeds of Juan Araya and Mark Parsons. So Mark, welcome.
Morning, Bradford. Looks like a perfect morning for paddle. Let's introduce the players. With his back to us in the black jacket is Johan Durant, who many people, myself included, think is the best person ever to pick up a platform racket, and we can talk about that as the day unfolds. His partner in the blue vest is Stephen Mitchell. On the far side of the net, in the top left-hand corner is Juan Arraya, and his partner, bundled up so tightly you can't even see who he is probably Mark Parsons, I would suspect.
Yeah, he's bundled up, little incognito out there. So you're right. You know, Durant is probably the greatest of all time, and he's been an innovator and at the top of the game for many years. A four-time national champion now? Five-time national champion now, sorry. And, you know, he continues to play at this extremely high level. You know, we live streamed his match yesterday, quarterfinals. They were amazing, Mitchell and Durant, and some of the volleys they hit and the ability to, people are struggling hitting cut overheads and attacking yesterday in the cold weather, and he seemed to have no problem.
Yeah, let's take a fast look at the draw, and then we'll have a little more of that conversation. Both teams got here relatively unscathed, although somewhat inexplicably, Durant and Mitchell lost their first set of the day in the first round.
Yeah, you never know what happens on any. Yes, I did see that.
I saw that.
We talked about it yesterday briefly. Anything can happen out there.
Yeah, apparently. Yeah, let's talk about Durant. He went through a patch where he wasn't winning. He and Parsons won, I guess, twice and made two other finals. And then he had all those shot clock issues that we talked about. And since then, he started to play the middle of the court more. And I think his game now might be better than it's ever been before.
You might be right. And he still goes out there and works. They were practicing right before this match. You know, some players are warming up there now. And, you know, he's working specific patterns and shots. He's having Stephen Mitchell hit a certain ball over here, and he's practiced hitting a backhand cutter when he's moving to his left that he cut drops and spins off to the side of the court. So he's still innovating, creating new shots and looking for new patterns of play. So I think you're right, Mark.
Now, one of the big differences we're going to see this morning from all the other Durant matches is everybody else in the country plays Durant Mitchell slow. Arraya Parsons, not in the slightest. They will play fast with them. They have no hesitancy. When you find them peaking too early, that's where they tend to struggle later. And I don't know whether it's going to be the case for Durant or Mitchell or not, but last night was just sublime.
Yeah, well, they're certainly pumped up in front of the hometown crowd here. And you can see Durant in the backcourt there bouncing up and down. You know, he's got the funky colored paddle, that's South African colors, you know, and that he actually is selling exclusively on it, SA rackets. And the those guys are certainly pumped up for it, but the question is whether they can just maintain that level. They were so good.
Durant volleyed a couple of Compton backhands that were hit from, I don't know, a couple feet behind the service line, as pure and as clean as you could hit them, and he volleyed them. That's it? That's all you got?
You know, it was amazing shots, and here we go. We're on Parsons, starting us off.
And I look for Arraya Parsons to do more on the Parsons serve at the net. In Detroit, they just kind of gave up the net, and I think they're going to do a little bit more in terms of I formation, Australian, Arraya moving. I think they know that to win this match, they've really got to do it from the net.
Yeah, you can see right away Mark Parsons served and volleyed on the first one. And I think you're right, Mark. There's no way they can spend the entire time in the backcourt. I think they got to be here almost even up, at least 40% of the time at the net.
15, love. Yep. 15, all.
Parsons has struggled a little bit with that serve to the ed court.
30, 15.
Big cut from Durant there. I like how Parsons is going aggressive with his serve early, though.
Yep. Nice serve, Mark. 40, 15.
The interesting thing about Parsons is he always talks about how weak his serve is, and lots of times he just lobs in the box. His serve in tennis is tremendous.
Yeah, he rips the hard serve in tennis. Very good first serve.
40, 30.
But there you go, a couple of faults early. See him, he was a little bothered by that second one. He's really working on tossing it up in front, and back to deuce here.
40 all.
Good spot return there from Mitchell.
One of the stories of the Detroit match was Uriah Parsons lost a lot of games from up 45 and 40 love.
And some of them had started with things like a fault, Mark. You know, just a simple ball here, a simple ball there. They actually played really well in that match. They just, you're right, they gave away and lost a bunch of games from 15-40, up 40-15.
You talked about in the intro about their ability to win the big points, and they played the big points very poorly.
So switch at the net. You'll see a lot of movement from Durant and Mitchell. They slide in the backcourt, switch sides, the net as well. Durant's cut overheads yesterday and spin overheads were excellent, on fire.
Ladies and gentlemen, the semifinal round match.
And you can hear there a little bit in the background the other semifinal round match going on. Broderick and Christian, both unseeded teams against Chris Humphreys and Philippe Asisconig, and that should be an interesting matchup. So we'll get you scores and updates on that match as we go along.
On my left.
So Bradford, which match do you think will end sooner?
You know, I'm going to guess this one here, but right now they're playing a good long point, and clearly everybody looking to be patient right now. But this will certainly ramp up soon. But it's interesting, he's actually not trying to create anything. He's actually sort of waiting for them to try and create, and he's going to react or counter to it right now.
And I believe this is the big move he's made in the last few years that has put him back at the top of the game.
40 all.
And so far, this is a continuation of what we saw in Detroit. Uriah Parsons unable to close out games.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's almost, you know, I've given it a little thought, and it seems like he saw, that's great, typical Uriah blitz, that's a great cut. They're waiting out Uriah Parsons a little bit often now, Durant and Mitchell, sort of allowing them to try to do more, and they feel like, it seems to me anyway, Mark, they feel like they will have a blip or a blurt or a missed ball, you know, because they're not always attacking the way they do against everyone else.
That last drive by Stephen Mitchell is exactly the one Uriah Parsons want to see him hitting.
Parsons got to hit that harder, keep it lower.
That's 4 game points for Uriah Parsons. They've been unable to close the game out. You see Uriah inside the court. And pressure, steal time.
Oh, cut across from Mitchell. Well spotted drive from Parsons. Draws the air. Game point number 5.
Uriah is very animated, which is not exactly unusual.
Not unusual at all, Mark.
There, Parsons comes in behind the serve. First time we've seen him do that to Mitchell.
Switch in the backcourt. Oh, what a move. And Uriah thought he had some space there. Mitchell showing some wheels. Great play.
Caught the line with the lob, or I thought that ball might be going wide.
Oh, yeah, that's just a good play. If Araya's going to be on top of the net once in a while, you go hard at him. It's so fast. He's literally like 15 feet away. Just a bullet right into Araya's hip.
Araya Parsons spent a disturbing amount of that game in the backcourt. Too much if they're going to be successful.
Oh, wow.
Oh, volley.
Great transition play. That's the shot that Durant has been adding in a lot. People come at him with a three-quarter pace drive, and he doesn't cut it. He looks like he's going to, but then he hits a drop shot, a short ball, just to force the play and the action.
15-30. 30 long.
Dirty love.
Pulls so hard through. Just wisely left. Nobody even moves from the net. They don't bother to try to come in. That's a great cut overhead. There's the drop again.
30 all.
It's going to be a tough dig. Nicely done from Araya.
Araya Parsons switching in the backcourt.
30-15.
Great rip by Parsons. Finds Mitchell's right hip. And yeah, it doesn't have the answer.
That's sort of what the switch in the backcourt does. It sort of moves you in a different position. You don't want to really hit the ball to the Parsons backhand. When he slides over there, sometimes you forget. You lose track of where your spot should be. I love the play.
40-30.
Turns in favor for the hard drive off of that underhand serve at the net man.
40-30.
Hey, Durant Mitchell, 2 games to love in the first set.
Yeah, you talked a little bit yesterday, Brad, about the sidearm serve, and one of its weaknesses is that you can take it right at the netman from short distance, and I think that was a great comment.
No, and I think it's a good play. And we see it more and more because you can't really hit it down, so hitting it at the guy coming in, less of a value. Go at the guy really close. If you put some starch on it, really hit it hard. It's a tough reaction volley.
40.
It's getting hit with the blitz. Nice answer from Araya.
30 long.
Such a fine line Mitchell walks. Durant wants him driving the ball, but so do Araya Parsons. Got to be the right one.
40 all.
Yeah, that was a tough ball. He tried to hit
30,
a touch drive, cross court and low, and he was actually slapping his thigh. He was upset with the shot choice there.
40-15.
Great volley by Araya.
Top players all understand grip pressure.
40,
You know, when the
30.
drive's coming, they see that player going in, they soften their hands, drop the ball short in front of them, keep the volley low. If they want to hit an offensive volley, they squeeze the paddle, give the push.
40 all.
Well, this would be a really tough game for Araya Parsons to lose another 40-15 game.
Yeah.
And in.
But Araya has
hitting
picked up
so
that
many
sidearm.
big forehands, Mark. Sorry. They're going to, you know, have to find a way to get that ball into the screens and away into the backhand sides. They just right now they're teeing up forehands.
Hey, Durant Mitchell lead the first set, 3 games to love.
Great start for Durant Mitchell. They are on fire, and Araya Parsons are not.
Definitely a little sluggish start for them. They're trying to get the motor going, but we expect to see a little bit of change. They got to get fired up. They got to have something good happen. But like you said, 2 games where they had 6 game points in the first game, right? Another 40-15 game there.
That's what these matches come down to. They
Yeah.
come down to who wins the big points. Araya's hit some wild shots early.
Yeah, frustrating. It looked like a frustrated forehand.
Noting that Araya Parsons have won 2 of the last 3 matches, and one in Detroit was probably they were so lost they probably should have won as well. But right now it looks like they're outclassed.
Yeah, they're just not playing well at this stage, and Durant Mitchell is fired up. Oh, that was a tricky little shot he was going for there. He's almost hiding it, screening it with his body, and then trying to do a quick turnaround drive. Doesn't execute.
Big forehand from Parsons.
15-30.
The blitz play and the return with the blitz pressure behind it, big for both of these teams. Oh, loose backhand, a loose forehand lob error there.
That's been the difference so far, just too many loose errors from Araya Parsons.
40-30. And out.
Araya Parsons have not created a lot of offense from the backcourt so far. Oh, what a volley.
Oh, wow, great shot. But Durant, he hesitates and then 2 quick strides and easily back to get that.
Well, when you can extend your arm out 15 feet, it's easy to make that volley.
Is that illegal?
40.
You allowed to extend your arm that far, Mark?
Durant is, no one else is allowed to do that.
Advantage Mitchell.
Just doesn't
The
have
other thing we're
his
seeing
range.
is the other thing we're seeing is 0 faults so far from Durant Mitchell, which has plagued them a little bit with the sidearm serve, especially Mitchell. Smart play by Parsons going behind Durant. Well, that was a good decision by Mitchell not to follow that ball in.
Wide.
Yay! Durant Mitchell lead the first set. 4
Ream
games
start
to
for
love.
Durant Mitchell. They look great.
Yeah, Uriah Parsons still trying to find the range. They're going hard and after Durant and Mitchell, and they've missed 6 or 7 balls long.
And it's 150.
I don't understand that play from Parsons, honestly. Stopped just behind the service line.
Leads them with a tough half volley against a blitzing Durant. That's when it rains and pours, Mark. See, going for a hard shot. Uriah in the way. He's got to hit around him there.
Game
Wow.
They lead the first set 1-0.
You going to rethink which match is going to be over first, Brad?
I mean, I was always on the other one being over later anyway, but right now, Parsons Durant, they are struggling mightily just to get anything going. They're just ripping returns, and when Durant and Mitchell do that, just put such pressure on you, and to win from the backcourt consistently is so hard against them.
40.
Mitchell does such a good job of moving to his left to take away that right hip. Moving to his right to take away that left, to his left to take away that right hip.
Well, one of those was correct, Mark. And you're right, he does. He slides right over to the, to his right-hand side whenever they're in the ad court and makes it very hard. Parsons is trying to find that spot,
Durant
but
Mitchell lead the first set 5 games to love.
5 games to
Another
love, Mark. Tough.
Another missed lob from Mariah. They're just giving away too much right now.
All right, time to talk about one of our sponsors, and that is Viking and the Viking Axe paddle. So introducing the Viking Axe, bold, unique, innovative, groundbreaking, a perfect blend of both worlds. All axe models combine the superb maneuverability of the Ozones with the oversized head and stability of the Reignites. At 88.9 square inches, it's a true oversized frame, but specifically designed with a longer handle to accommodate the two-handed backhand, one of the most important shots in the modern game. Featuring Viking's proprietary carbon throat stability system, CTSS, for enhanced stability and shock reduction at contact, the Axe has a massive sweet spot that is very forgiving for balls hit outside of it. Viking, rule the court. So, rough start, but we did see every single moment that Uriah Parsons have gone up. When they've got up 15-30 or 40-15, it's just fallen back the other way. They've had opportunities to win a couple games. Right now, it's just steamrolling the other way. And there's a first fault from Durant and Mitchell, which hopefully will help them kind of propel them to their first game. They just got to have something good happen. Great volley there.
Great volley.
Yeah, what you mentioned before, he slid over to his right to get his body behind the ball. That's going out. He's hitting the ball from lower than the net. Right, I can't believe it. Wow.
40-15.
It's a 20-minute set.
I mean, I would say if that, maybe 20-minute set. But have you seen a game like that where they just miss 4 balls? I mean, they're just hitting, trying to find the range, but right now they're nowhere close. All right, so we'll take a quick break, and be back right here in a moment on the APTA YouTube network presented by eNet Live.
Great job. Hey, good stuff to you. Patty, good job. Yeah, a lot of fun. You guys look great out there. How long have you been playing?
Who, me? Oh, I've been playing my whole life. How about you?
Wow, I only started playing when I retired.
Someone say retired? Thank you. 30 long.
All right, welcome back to the APTA Tour, where Durant and Mitchell just dismantled our number 3 seeds of Araya and Parsons, 6-love in the first set. But was it a Durant and Mitchell played well, Mark? We were talking a little bit about it, but you know, this is more a story of Araya Parsons just not executing. They must have missed 10, 12 drives by a couple of feet.
Yeah, I mean, not to take anything away from Durant Mitchell, but that was kind of a no-show set for Araya Parsons. Kind of shocking, too.
And it's strange. It sort of worked out that way we had kind of talked about. They got up 40-15 for, no, they had 6 game points in the first game. They got up 40-15 in the next game. And
40-15 in the first game, too.
yeah, and they lost them all, and then it snowballed from there. Just snowballed.
I think these first couple games are just going to be absolutely critical, whether we have a match or not.
Yeah,
Or at least a competitive one.
150.
Wow, that lob out from Parsons. Just can't try that stuff. You gotta go hard at the body or lob it up over him. He thinks he's getting it around him, but the extendo arm comes in.
Araya going overhand this time.
30.
Well, try something different. Not a bad idea.
Araya's overhand serve is one of the best in the game, if not the best.
Well, he goes after it. He challenges the opponent. Hits it hard. It's not undrivable. There's no serve that's really undrivable on the tour. But always challenges. He follows it up with a great volley usually.
You know, Araya Parsons can hit 3 overheads and stay in the net.
There we go. There's the range.
Some positive energy from Parsons.
But that exact same drive, I mean, he made a couple, but they also missed, like I said, by a couple of feet. He just found the range there. They're just going to have to find it. Sometimes it happens. Oh, what a shot.
40-30.
Great play from Araya.
There's something positive. See if they can build.
Another game point gone away. Great volley from Mitchell, staying the point.
$40-50. 30 on. Sorry, 30 off.
There we go.
Advantage.
There haven't been too many donations from Durant and Mitchell.
Haven't had a chance.
Yeah, yeah.
been
Araya and Parsons are beating them to it.
40-30.
And there it is, their first game, and that's all you need. Just got to get off the schneid. You feel so different. It's like a weight's lifted from your shoulders.
It's amazing how fast the momentum can shift in our game. We've talked about it previously, but the inability to end points. You just all of a sudden, you buckle down, you play a couple of good points, and you got the momentum.
First set, 3-0.
Remains to be seen whether they do or they don't. Important game right here.
Broderick and Christian up 3-0 in their semifinal match against Humphreys and Assis Koenig. So great start for them. They've been so mentally tough, grinding, making it tough for opponents to win points.
15 long. Get that ball back.
And for commentators to call matches.
This one, yeah. You want another one? You.
Araya Parsons doing very little damage to Durant Mitchell on return to serve.
They're volleying so well and doing great poach. Did he just no-look that drop volley? I believe he did. You know, he just cuts across, reads it, doing a great job reading when the drives come in. They're volleying so well.
Araya kind of laid off that forehand. He's going to have to find the range in that shot, or it's just going to be a short match.
Yeah, Just went hard a bunch of times early. He missed it so many times, though. There's another great example of Mitchell moving to his right, sliding his body behind the drive from Parsons. Keeping his paddle still is a great play.
Where's the offense going to come from in the backcourt? Mariah Parsons.
Well, there it is. I mean, they have plenty of offense. They just got to find the range. Got to have a couple of things go on. There's a great shot from Mariah. They just got their first game under their belt. They're just going to need to keep grinding. And there's the errors. Want to get a couple errors from Durant Mitchell. Help you make that comeback. Oh, there we go.
30, 40.
No, I don't speak from experience, Bradford, but normally when you beat a good team 6-love, it's hard to come back in the second set.
What's strange about it and what you got to tell yourself is, hey, they're playing well. They're not going to keep playing that well, and we're playing terribly. All we have to do is raise our game and take the moment when it comes. And right now, this is the moment. 2 faults from Durant. They get a break point. Now they just got to play a really good point. You know, I actually think, strangely, Mark, it's almost the other way. When you beat a team 6-love, it's easy to sort of let your guard down and be like, all right, we got.
No, that's exactly my point.
Oh,
that's
you were saying it that way, yes. It's
Yeah.
hard for Durant and Mitchell because they got to just keep going. You got to say to yourself, they're going to get better. We got to just keep plugging. Just can't make a lob error there at that crucial moment.
Nope.
Take advantage of these 2 faults.
I got it. Say that. 40, 50.
With another great hand-to-hand combat volley.
No, they're volleying so well. It's just hard mentally as a team in the backcourt when you hit some of your best shots and they volley them right back. Because how many times can you do it?
I mean, Brian Compton last night hit a couple of balls that just Durant handled. They were just remarkable. You could see him thinking, what do I have to do to win a point?
What? Advantage, Durant.
Called over the net by umpire Thomas Bavino. Oh, that's a rough
That's
one.
hard to do in the backhands.
I mean,
Wonder if we can get a replay from John Scott on that.
it'd be hard because the angle we need is going to be right where the chair umpire is. We don't have any cameras there, but it would be curious to see a replay there. Just so everybody's clear on the rules out there, the ball must cross to your side of the net first before you can touch it. And they're saying Araya, who was right on top of the net, reached over the net to the other side.
Both Durant and Mitchell pointed to it immediately.
Oh, just missed wide.
Game.
Oh.
1-0 in the second set.
That's just another kind of killer game, Mark. They have opportunities. The over the
There's
net
the replay,
call.
Bradford.
I gotta see this again on the video.
Can't really tell. But you see both Durant and Mitchell point to it immediately.
Well, what he's doing is, what I think he does is he flicks his paddle head out, right? So he flicks it out across to create that angle, and that front edge of his paddle was clearly over the net from what I saw there, but it's hard to tell.
On contact or on the follow-through?
No, sort of right at the same time, on contact. Because he's
That would
flicking
be
the
lost
paddle
point.
out to contact.
30.
Oh. That server's out by 3 feet. Dangerous moment for Mariah Parsons.
40.
Yeah, they got to keep fighting. Right on the line, little miss hit return. Oof.
15-40.
Nice ball there. Great shot, man.
That's a ball there from Araya. He holds it, waits for Durant to sort of commit his move. It's a sharp one into the snowboard. Beautifully done.
That's headed where Durant is, not where he's going.
There's Araya returning the favor. Great cut across volley. He's so close to the net.
Big moment in the match if Araya Parsons can get out of this game.
And here's one of the love 40 down. It's be huge for them. Turn the tables a little.
Durant's ability to volley off the net is almost unparalleled.
15 all.
Nice dig from Araya.
Parsons couldn't quite extend the arms on that ball.
It's actually a great point. See Parsons and Araya is still trying to create the lob, taking their strikes when they get them.
30-15.
Going to see a switch possibly in the backcourt here.
Next have been one of Araya Parsons' better points from the backboard.
Well, they're doing a good job. Lobbing better, withstanding it, and then taking a spot drive at the right time. There's the look.
30.
Good job.
Amazing. I think Durant has driven like 70% of the Parsons overheads. As soon as Parsons touches the ball and it goes to Durant, he drives the ball.
And he's not missing them.
Parsons got to do a better job of finding Mitchell.
Oh! What a point. I mean, good point there from Araya Parsons as well, though.
But yeah, and even the last ball, Mitchell's moving hard to his left, driving the ball back the other way. You got to be happy with that. If you're Araya Parsons, that's the ball you want him hitting.
No!
He's so quick to move to his left and right. Just a great move from Mitchell. And another game.
2 games to 1. They won the first set.
Every ball Durant touches, he's making an offensive pass at.
Yeah, just a great play. They're volleying so well. That was a good point there, and a couple of good points. I think they're just getting frustrated. They're trying to find a way to make these guys miss. They haven't found it yet. And there he's taking a low ball coming up into he's trying to actually go up into Mitchell's chest on that last point there. And Mitchell wisely just gets out of the way. There's very little chance of a player hitting a ball in from that close to the net while they're hitting it up if they put any pace on it.
Great recognition from Mitchell.
That volley way out in front of him. Oh! So he's tried 2-3 times to hit sort of that dink ball around Durant, and he's gotten burned every single one. Great move from Orion. Mitchell reads it. He gets up close, but Parsons, well-spotted drive, gets the ball low under the net.
Just not sure the wisdom of cutting in front of Durant.
Well, actually, he made a bunch of great cuts yesterday too, Mark. They're working it out as a team where one player can, and Mitchell definitely affected play in the match by his ability to close in and cut off and read volleys yesterday. So it's just more.
Yeah, those are just hard volleys to make when you're moving like that, and it is Johan Durant you're in front of. You got to be very judicious about the decision to do that. And there, Mitchell doesn't dart hard to his right and misses the volley. Big game for Uriah Parsons. Don't want to call it a must game, but close.
Look at that. Look at that anticipation.
I think Uriah Parsons have to hit more balls at Durant. Make him a little more stationary at the net.
40-30.
Oh.
40 all.
Uriah's forehand has been all over the place.
Add in. Game. Roderick Christian. They lead the first set 4-1.
You hear Project Christian up 4-1 first set.
Hear that in the background. They're just playing so tough. Such a tough mental game they're playing.
Advantage.
Uriah
Great drive.
It was a great drive, but Uriah thought Parsons was cutting off, but Parsons moved more to his right there. Uriah got caught, just not ready.
Really Uriah's ball.
40 all.
A missed volley from Durant. Shocking, Bradford. Shocking.
Yeah, I mean, it's great read again. He's right on top of the net. Parsons hits it so low to the net. Sometimes it's just a tough one, even if you're right on top. And it's nice to show you're human once in a while, Mark. You know, miss a ball.
I feel better about it.
Yeah, he's more like you now. See,
Let's not go overboard.
Now you
We
can
both miss
identify
volleys.
with him. You can identify with him.
One of the big differences here as opposed to Detroit is Uriah is just not doing any damage at all on his return to serve, at least not damage to Durant Mitchell.
Yeah. Overrule. It was
Okay.
called out by Durant. Overrule. I have a really good view of it. I think it did catch half the line. So, break point. This is, like you said, but dangerous place. Like you said, Mark, he went at him first, but it's almost like Durant knew exactly what was going to happen. First it's at him, then he moves. Reading it well.
No.
Way in, great shot from Uriah.
Tough Nick. How can they withstand Durant at the net?
Yes, yes, yes. You!
Right on the line. Raya overextends.
I feel like these moments in the match for Araya Parsons to get back in it, just keep passing them by.
You're right, Mark. That's a great move and very tough volley from Araya. Wasn't a bad volley from Mitchell there. Just exceptional quickness in hands from Araya.
And they close this game.
And there it is.
2-all in the second set.
Big
That's
moment.
a big game.
Big moment.
Big game for Araya Parsons there. Yep, no question. 2-all, second set.
Mid-team lock.
Slower in my holding. You! Ah! Out?
Ball is in. Ball is in.
No, keep going. Sorry, guys.
15 all.
You go. Yo, he's in. Yo, please.
Durant hits that forehand so well moving to his left against that side wire. It's such a tough shot.
He gets in position. That was also good from my angle. Durant was looking to see if he was going to call it out. Yeah, he moves better to the side screen than any other player in the game that I can think of.
This is a really well played point all around.
Yeah. You.
Little cat and mouse there between Durant and Parsons, ex-partners. Really feel like Durant Mitchell are in kind of in control of this point. They're dictating much more than Araya Parsons.
Parsons and Raya are playing a really good team. They're just trying to, it's hard to find a way to break them, you know, break them down, get them to move more. Overrule again. That was called in after Araya Parsons called it out, and they're both a little stunned by it. Little hangdog, not happy.
They both they both called it out immediately as well.
15
Back-to-back
all.
overrules from the chair.
Thomas Wavino, but he's decisive in making quick calls. Gotta like that. Not always easy being up there.
Yep. 15-30.
Good leave by Araya there.
It's moving so well. And he's waiting right until Araya Parsons are hitting their overhead. At the moment they're about to make contact, he's sliding his position. He's getting forehands right and left. That's a good move from Araya. Well done.
30 all.
Great to have something positive happen right after that overrule.
Yes.
And huge moment in the match. Mariah Parsons to find their way back in here.
Oh,
40, 30.
Mitchell was there. He just took his eye off at the last second, possibly hit the seam.
And an example, Bradford, of how different the points unfold when Mitchell's in the ad court versus Durant. So much less pressure on Mariah Parsons.
Well, you can find, they found his backhand 3 times in a row there. And it's almost impossible to do with Durant there. He was getting a forehand almost every time. And Mitchell has a great forehand. He just, that move to the side wire, it's not quite the same as Durant's.
You mean it's like everyone else's?
There's a, oh, just wide.
Game.
Called out.
And they get a call right.
And they, yep. Great
They
game.
get a call right. Bradford, I was talking to Eric Buderak last night, former ATP Tour player, Australian Open doubles finals, and he described Johan Durant as one of the best athletes/competitors he's ever competed against.
Yeah. I'm not
That's
surprised.
a big statement from a guy who's played against the Bryan brothers.
World class, right. Tennis.
World-class tennis player.
All right, so we're going to talk quickly just about another one of our national sponsors, PaddlePro.com. For over 20 years, Paddle Pro has been recognized as the industry leader in platform tennis. The knowledge, expert advice, vast inventory, and ultimate customer service will help any player find the perfect equipment to take your game to the next level. Paddle Pro is the only website to carry all platform tennis brands. For more information, go to www.paddlepro.com. All right, right back to the action here. And I like how Araya and Parsons are recognizing this is the moment, right? It's now or never for them. They're playing really good points. They weathered the storm there.
They weathered a couple of their calls also, which made it a really impressive game to win.
Just got
that's a forced error by Durant there.
Just gonna have to keep their level high. Oh, I don't know about that move there. He did get the ball down. He did have Mitchell off the net, but Mitchell had a good strike at that. It was a tough move.
50, 40.
Rare good forehand from Mariah today.
40.
Spinning turnaround backhand from Mitchell. Great shot.
Definitely surprised Parsons. And these are the games Mariah Parsons can't afford to have. Just quickly go down 40 love. Great backhand there from Parsons.
Great use of the court there from Mitchell, showing his touch, his ability to see the open space.
Poor drop shot from Mariah, too. 3-all.
Yeah, a lot of faults from Parsons today. And Mitchell knows he shouldn't have reached for that volley. Could have let it go through, would have either gone out or bounced right back to the service line. He could have just pushed it over and held the net. That's a fault
One of the few
again.
mistakes.
15,
One of the few mistakes Mitchell's made today.
Yeah, they're playing great. It's sort of, they've answered the question you said before about, you know, they played so well yesterday, Mark. They're playing great today as well.
Although in fairness, it's easy to play great when no one's putting pressure on you.
Well, the Parsons Durant, you know, Parsons Araya level has raised. First set was just a no-show. So this is
15 love.
good stuff here, but Parsons got to get the serve in the box here.
30 all.
No.
There you go, put it in.
40,
Might get an error.
30.
Amazing how good things happen when you don't fault.
There you go. It starts with that, Mark.
30
Right?
love.
Great play from Mariah in mid-court.
His hands are amazing, but if Araya's, so we haven't had,
30,
other than a couple of
15.
spots where Araya's really made the blitz or attacks where he's, done the damage at the net.
40,
They're just playing so well and so tight, Mitchell and Durant.
Another miss on game point.
Again, he just cannot find the Durant back, and he's got it there.
Advantage Parsons. 40, 15.
Good look.
Interesting to know what Araya Parsons' game point conversion rate was, Bradford.
Oh, I can.
Awfully low would have to be your
Awfully
guess,
low,
right?
exactly. I think the answer is awfully low.
That'd be a great stat to have.
Game point conversion rate.
Yep.
Oh, great movement from Durant. Nicely done. Araya looking to be all over that net. They're dropping into an I formation here. And he catches the outside of Araya's paddle.
Game. Roderick Christian.
Great ball from Mitchell.
First set, 6-1.
First set, Roger Christian, 6-1.
Yeah, they're just playing tough.
Advantage Mitchell.
They're giving away so little.
Game. Durant Mitchell lead the second
Wow, some
set,
fast
4
misses there
games
from
to
Araya
3.
Parsons, and they lose the game again after having multiple opportunities to win it.
Yeah, a couple of game points. It's really coming down to like these moments. You can't go there and say they played poorly. They played. You're going to miss a ball here and there. But the things like throwing in the 2 faults, I mean, there's just no room for that in this match. It's the soft
When you're
errors.
playing, you're playing Durant Mitchell, you just can't afford to give things away. You're missing drives, you're missing volleys, that's okay. It's the overheads, the lobs, and the serves you simply can't have.
Yeah.
A good volley from Durant. Women's final to follow this match.
15 love.
Yeah, that's going to be an exciting one. Hana Zabori dominating the tour, but Anika and Nicolescu, just a great team popping up in the draw. They haven't played this year at all, but 2 of the top players in the women's game.
Really looking forward to that one. That should be an exciting match. Nicolescu and Anika looked like they missed nothing yesterday. Haven't played a tournament all season. And to the best of my knowledge, never played a tournament together. Great pickup there from Araya.
Another slide to his right. Mitchell volleying so well.
Mitchell doing everything so well today. See Durant moving in there, looking for the drop shot.
Parsons gets baited into that, starts getting turned around.
Love 15.
Oh!
40, 15.
Durant's got such an amazing sense of when to get out of the way, when to hang in there. Just remarkable about that. His anticipation is just next level.
And the pressure of him staying, it actually forces Parsons. In most cases there, Parsons not going to miss a lot of those type of balls, but the extra pressure that Durant puts on it just by his presence. Sometimes Araya does it as well.
Great get from Mitchell. One more ball.
Again, he just cannot find the backhand routinely. Oh! And when it rains, it pours. They're in perfect position at the net. And just let cord right over the top. Great shot.
Okay, Araya will serve to stay in the match. 3-5 second set.
Long 15.
Durant is just all over those Parsons volleys and Parsons overheads.
Long 30.
Oh!
15.
He was bailing there. Parsons took pace off, and then at the last second, he thought he could do something.
And extended the arm.
And extended the arm, and I'm actually surprised he didn't make it. Ah!
Why wouldn't you be surprised?
15.
I think no one else in the country would have gotten hit by that ball, Bradford, because no one else in the country would have been in that position.
Yeah, I'm
They
not
would have
sure
been
what he
bailing.
was doing there. I got to be honest. I think he even he knows that wasn't the best choice.
Great blitz from Mitchell. No notification from Parsons. Again, Mitchell putting one more ball in play. Didn't go for too much there. Very smart.
That's in. Tough dig here. Just great play.
30. All.
But a poor choice letting that ball go. That was kind of a hanger, too.
Love 40.
Switch in the backcourt every point. They have not been able to find the Durant backhand very often. And here we are,
40.
match point.
Oh, that was close.
James, Broderick, Christian. They lead second set 1-0. They won the first set 6-1.
All we hear is game Broderick Christian.
Yeah, well, that's all there's been, Mark. 6-1, 1 love. Broderick Christian up in their semifinal. And there it is, game, set, and match. And you were talking about a sublime performance from them yesterday, and we got more of the same from Durant and Mitchell today. I mean, Araya Parsons really were a no-show in the first set, Mark, but I mean, they started getting something going in the second, but just Durant Mitchell, just every single answer today.
15.
Okay, I think we're going to switch over and show some of the other semi.
Yeah, where, as you mentioned just before, let's do a quick look at the players on the court. Mark, why don't you take that?
So at the net, the lefty is Drew Broderick making that volley. and his partner Thomas Christian, who's just seemed like he's improved by leaps and bounds this tournament. Hitting the overhead right there under the gray top is Philippe Osses-Koenig, and his partner in the red hat, Chris Humphreys.
They're playing right next door, so I've had a chance to glance over from time to time on a changeover. Something they are just giving away nothing. You know, Christian's basically not driving. He's just lobbing, but he's not missing anything and volleying well. And I think, you know, I guess it's the same story. Osses-Koenig and Humphreys just don't know how to win a point. Like, how are we going to win
What we saw there was very interesting, Bradford. You saw Humphreys just voluntarily give up the net, just simply backed up.
That's why.
I haven't forgotten. Thank you.
Just body language-wise, right now, Humphreys and Osses-Koenig, they look frustrated.
I knew it was going to be a long game when the first game. But what do you think? He falls. I just could not get into a rhythm after. I mean, you get to my head, we get tired, and we lose the point. No, that's not mine.
Humphreys hitting very flat overheads. There's a spinny one. Usually generates a lot of spin in his overhead.
Yeah, I think he was trying early to do some damage and wasn't doing enough. There wasn't enough risk reward there. And they're playing Christian, but you know, you watch here. I don't think he didn't hit a ball last night, and I'm pretty sure he may not today. There's one. All right. That was a good strike. Perfectly done.
Steven, great job, buddy.
Hey, Chris, see you play. See you too, man.
That's a great shot there. They're going to need more of that from Humphreys. His ability to cut that ball in there is going to be huge for Osses-Koenig. Go ahead, Bob.
Conventional logic, Bradford, would be if you're not going to drive the ball, you're going to lose, right? They're going to get a seam, they're going to get a nick, they're going to hit a spinny overhead you can't handle. But obviously that has not been the case.
Yeah, I mean, the spinny overhead they can't handle hasn't really happened that much. And they're covering, and here's the thing. If the ball's going at the, you know, at the crease or at the nick, you can block it. So they're blocking the ball, they're not getting it into the crease. Nobody's really hitting for it that much. And you start to run risk, and there's just a nice miss. And he is driving more already today in those couple of points than I saw him towards the end of the last match. And both good, really good drives. Great shots.
Osses-Koenig looks lost right now.
They do. You know, at the net, this has been the problem in the last two matches. The answer of how to hurt them when you're at the net, or whether you should even just go, just stay back if you can't do anything to them. You can actually try to do to them what they're doing to you.
I mean, you have the mental fortitude to do it.
He's gonna have to let those drop more. He's trying to make something happen. A little lower, but you know, I think Christian is also seen at this point, Mark, 8,000 of those types of shots coming at him. He looks completely nonplussed over there. There you go, he's just baiting him like he's literally tapping it. I love this play, but he's not gonna bite there. There you go. See, he's trying to get him to drive. He's not doing it. Then he's going hard to Broderick. Just go back, stay back. Can't do anything up there, go back. There you go, that'll do it. That's it, or you know, take that opportunity. You can make the cut finisher. Great shot there from Assis Koenig.
The interesting thing is that Broderick Christian aren't trying to lob them off the net. They're not trying to lob them to create movement. They're just lobbing them to not drive the ball, to not miss. Oh, that just hurts. That hurts a lot.
It hurts even more in this type of game where you just give a point to the other team and it takes you an hour to win the other one. You know, so it's tough. It works mentally against you. I think just putting the serve in soft, letting him, you know, hit it, let him take the net from time to time. See, you know, Broderick is really, and Christian, they're just not missing. He's going to push it. Watch, he's going to tap it. There's the hit. He wants the hit, but a good move, and that's where you run the risk. But he's actually happy for it. In that case, though, when you do that, if you're a player like Chris Humphries, you got to get tight to the net. You got to volley down.
And they, last night, I mean, looked to me like they just mentally broke Hughes Bowers.
Well, it was literally the exact same thing you're seeing here. Hughes Bowers had nothing that they could do to him from the net. And they didn't stay back. Nobody's staying back. At some point, I think if you're Assis, Koenig, and Humphries, you go, well, we just lost 7 out of 8 games at the net. Let's stay back, you know, and then take your chances the other way. You'll get more looks, more activity for you. This is activity for you. Problem is this is just kind of mind-numbing. And it's
into Christian, really hard roll, try to make him beat you off the back straight.
Okay.
And at the end of the day, if they're not going to lob or not going to drive, I would just try to peg him, and if I don't peg him, I back up. So if I get the name to get that again, I try to peg him again. And
here we go. That's it. All right. So this is what Graham McNerney tells me in my microphone. He would go hard rollers at Christian and force him in there, and then get really tight to the net. Just force him and move him. Go really hard, and if that's not working, then he would try to hit them from the net in the back, like hard. And every time you hit it really hard, just back off the net. Just force them, but basically what he's talking about is forcing them forward to a degree and forcing some form of action. And that's the trick, you know. So he was saying, and there you go, there's the action, that one moment right there. And it's still a good ball for Christian to hit, but you want him to hit it. So he, you know, he's saying he'd go hard at the body, hard rollers into the screen. Can't fault that. I think that's a good idea. Speed up the pace of play if you can.
Mistake.
That's great. I mean, they made a nice drive, but they didn't win the points with pressure, right? They won the points because they got an error, and that's the trick. Nobody's found a way to completely put any pressure on these guys.
This is one of the things that separates Durant and to a lesser extent Araya from the rest of the players in the country is their ability to put pressure with their overheads. Graham McNerney can also do that.
But we've also seen in the past, you know, Broderick has broken Araya a couple of times, you know, just, you know, with the mental game, hitting them all back, and Araya's trying to speed it up, and he's broken them down a few times.
No question.
Let's see, soft overhead, push to the middle, soft overhead, push to the middle. And Broderick's done a good job. Assis Koenig is a very good blitzer. Like, and he uses his footwork and speed as almost a weapon out here. And there's a great move, and they've done a great job, Broderick, of reading when he's coming. Broderick will close in, volley behind him, or they just bail back. But there was a great move and a nice thunderous fist pump from Assis Koenig.
15.
See if they can turn this thing around. That hurts too.
15 all.
Redford, why do you think more people haven't embraced Broderick's style of play? Not even trying to win points, just trying not to lose them.
You know, that was sort of how it all started. I mean, and still, paddle is still paddle. Like, the number one purpose of hitting an overhead is to, first and foremost, hit a shot your opponent can't attack, right? You know, push it soft and deep, get back in position at the net. Even if they take a drive, you're right there to volley it. And I think it's just the taxing mental and physical toll it takes on you. And it's not necessarily as fun. It's effective.
40-15.
Which begs the question, because it is effective, why has no one else done it? 40-15.
Oh, what a get. Classic Broderick flip there. I think few people have the mental fortitude to do it, Mark. I think that's really that simple.
I absolutely agree with that, but you said few people. Right now, we have one person in the game who plays this way. Swing and a miss from Humphries, and it's 3-1.
It's also, like every skill set, something that you hone to perfection. You know, meaning he's been doing it, and there's even certain parts of the game he invented. One of the first guys to serve and stay back. You know, one of the first guys to just try to only, you know, really beat Giamento. There have been other guys across the board, but, you know, you go down the list of, you know, champions, great players, and usually talking about, oh, this guy had a great forehand, that guy was an amazing blitzer, this guy, you know, so on and so forth. And, you know, here this is just a mental game. And when you put it down into this mental game, and that's how you're competing, he's the best at it, right?
Unquestionably.
Nice. Long.
I could roll right at him. See, these spins, he's got to get him lower and hit him through the court more, go at him more. Christian's just got him all locked up. He's just getting each one with ease. Good volley there from Humphries. Oh, good close. But see, that's what, you know, in essence, they take it and speed it up, and that's what Humphries and Asas-Koenig want, and that they get a good result there. So you can see how it, if they play too fast, it's negatively affecting them too. So it's, that's a great ball. But see, you do lose very little or nothing. Humphries and Asas-Koenig, they should be able to take some chances on certain attacking overheads, and then when they make a bad enough mistake, go off the net. Don't be afraid to leave the net, go back. You can, you know, it's not a big deal. So take a risk with a certain ball, make a move, speed the play up.
We haven't seen any real hard overheads from Asas-Koenig or Humphries. at Christian, as McNerney was talking about.
30-15.
Oh, move from Broderick there, and he's admonished himself. He's saying he should have put it up, and probably right. The ball was lower than the net. He went for a tough volley. He even hit it well. It's just hard to keep it in.
30 all.
But I think they just see that's not going to hurt him. He's got to let that drop a little more.
Out.
Yeah, just go back. Nice move from Asses Koenig. Can't complete the play though. Dinkin blitz.
40 all deuce.
We see the women starting to head out there. We're going to be going over to that match. And then maybe when that's over, we can come back and do the rest of this.
I'll stay with it, Mark. I'll hang in here.
Gage, Humphreys, Koenig, Rodgers, Christian.
Another game for Humphreys Asses Koenig, 3-2.
They won the first set.
Second set.
Yeah, but a couple of little better kind of games from Humphreys and Asses Koenig. You know, trying to hang tough, trying to work their way through this, compete mentally, find a way. They can definitely take some more chances. Hitting hard, deep rollers, leaving the net here and there.
That's their own operation.
See, and, you know, we talk often, Mark, about dictating tempo, dictating pace of play, all sorts of things like that. And the reality is that's exactly what Broderick is doing. He's dictating the pace of play, dictating the tempo. And until somebody finds a way to do that against him, you know, he's always going to have this opportunity to just bring it back. So the game, you have to either evolve the game well enough, and you can see there's just a great cutoff. Broderick's a great volleyer. He's got cut finishing overheads. He's got a variety of things. He doesn't necessarily have more offense than anyone else, but he's got some amazing, look at those hands. He's one of the best volleyers up there, best at stopping a blitz from attacking. But this is also still the kind of point that Asses Koenig want to play. It's action for them, right? And then you just can't miss lobs. Cannot.
Well, talking about Broderick, we have oftentimes discussed the advantages and the disadvantages of a left-hander at the net, right? It's a huge advantage in the overheads, and it's a huge disadvantage on the volleys. And in my opinion, Broderick is the single best left-handed volleyer the game's ever seen.
You're probably right. I would say yes. He is just so good. He hits less forehand volleys than almost any player. You know, he's just so good at reading the drive, coming and getting his behind it. Technically, he's perfect with the paddle, and he closes to the spot better than almost anyone.
And almost anyone, it's so much harder to do that as a lefty than a righty, because you have the two forehands in the middle when you're playing lefty-righty paddle.
Yeah, he just knows how to move his body behind it, Mark. And look at him right on top of the net.
And that's what made he and Palmer so great, because they just missed fewer volleys than everybody else.
Yeah, they were such a good volleying team. So you would face it actually at both sides, right? When they're at the net, it's hard to win a point. They volley so well, and then when they go to the backcourt, they don't miss the ball. That's why they got a bunch of national championships together.
30-15.
The other question is, how much does this physically take out of you when you show up against Johan Durant in the finals?
It's a physical and mental style, there's no question. You know, fitness is absolutely a big part of, you know, Broderick's game. You know, he's always moving back in. He's incredibly mentally and physically fit.
Those are the mistakes that just...
Yeah, they've missed 3 lobs in this game. Broderick doing some incredibly good job poaching. Humphries is going to have to hit some of those returns down the line. And there's a big tattoo. Great shot. Catches Broderick off the left hip, which is not easy to do, as we were just talking about. I mean, tough.
Game, Broderick and Christian. They need second set, 4-2.
4 lob errors in a game, that's just not going to get it done. Tough. And he's just trying to create. Doesn't completely own that shot. Can't fault him for trying, but
the second big result for Humphries, Osix, Koenig in the Grand Prix. They made the semis also with charities. They're a coming team.
oh, they're definitely a coming team. You know, Ossis Koenig is very quick, uses his speed, blitz is great. Humphries got the spin overheads, really good backhand, excellent serve. But they've
been moving it around, playing with different partners all season. It'll be interesting to see if they finish out the year together.
Yes, I think they are, but they've been, you know, enjoying playing with, they're still learning, right? You know, so playing with different partners is a great way to learn. Find out more about other people's styles, how do you work it? You just become a better, more knowledgeable player doing that. Oh, just mental weariness, loss of focus.
Yep, that was clearly a mental error.
Definitely has a little hangdog look about him right now.
I'm surprised we've seen no hard overheads from these guys. A couple of rollers at the nick, but
yeah,
no hard overheads.
Smash it at him
all.
And then bail. I'm all in. Rollers right at the seam into the deuce court. Heavy action. Even into Broderick. It's fine. Go for it. You're not doing anything to Christian either. You just look at him. Yeah. He's going to go. That's a good ball, too. And there he's got an opportunity ball. He could make it. And he's figuring why not. It's a good opportunity to try this in match play because he doesn't know how to win a point any other way. And I understand. Not simple. And when you get to this point, you can see the difficulty of staying mentally in it like this. I mean, you can feel them sort of, Ossis Koenig and Humphries breaking, right? You just see it.
Just missing routine balls. Yeah, they're done.
Or forcing, they're done. You know, and they haven't been able to figure out a way to push it through. It's 6-1, 5-2 now. They're at their last gasp, and Broderick and Christian are giving you 0, right? Nothing. Game before that.
And interestingly, they're not taking anything, but they're not giving anything. They're just putting the ball in play.
Yeah. I mean, if you go with the hard overheads, they will take something. They'll take the ball. You know, a percentage at least. Something will happen.
Bradford, how do you see the women's final unfolding?
Oh, that's good. I see it unfolding in an exciting fashion. I think you got 4 of the most dynamic players on the tour, and to me, Gabby Nicolescu is just the #1 best player creating chaos on the court. And I think her and Anika, even though they never played together, it's kind of a good partnership because Gabby's ability to sort of speed up the point, Gabby Nicolescu, and make things go on. It fits right into things Anika wants to do, and it almost takes usually Anika's the one trying to do all that stuff, and then sometimes she gets off the rails. Here it almost frees her up to just do the other things. But I expect, and and of course Zaboria and Hanish have just been, I have to say, unchallenged this year. They've just been completely dominant, on the tour. And Hanish for 3-4 years with different partners has been the #1 player on the tour, and Zaboria is just ridiculously talented. Her ability, a couple of keys that I see, Mark, is Hanish's ability to, Zaboria's ability to move to the center of the court and give her things in the center there is exceptional. You got to find a way to get to both Anika's and Zaboria's side screen. If you can't work them there, it's a hard day for you.
Anika was saying last night when I spoke to her that she's really enjoying playing with Nicolescu because Nicolescu went to so many balls, and there's so much less for Anika to do.
Right, that's what I mean. It frees her up. She doesn't have to create everything. It frees her up to just do some of the things she does really well and do damage with them.
And on the flip side, Hanish Zaboria are really looking forward today. They want a challenge. They're looking forward to this match.
No, I sat with them at breakfast. We all had oatmeal together, and they are looking forward to it. Really, really pumped up for today's match. It's a great rip, but just so good at volleying. Nice, great volleys there from Christian.
He's really improved. Match to match.
Well, he's literally just stopped making almost any errors, and and he's learning how to play this style, and he's finding a way into it, and it takes as much mental energy out of the other guy too. I mean, look at those incredible volleys, and they finally missed that one.
30-15.
Points from the match. As you see, Hanish Zaboria. Whoa, a missed volley from Drew Broderick.
Missed volley. And a great point, a better point for us as Koenig and Humphreys. Have some fun with it. Go for those shots. And he does not serve it out. They get a couple of errors and a couple of loose points. That's the first game we've seen where they're getting a few errors there. Now they're going to serve and stay back. I love it. This is great. Look at this.
Yeah, I just wish they'd done this earlier.
100%. This is the right way to go about it. Either that now, hard rollers right in there and a couple of pushes, but then go into the hard overhead. Make some stuff happen. Oh, just don't misjudge that ball there. And if you do, you got to get behind it. You got to really be tough. He can let it go, but he's got to get back behind it. He was watching and waiting, and then.
Yep, that's the ball he's got to put back in play.
This point that Broderick and Christian are moving on, but I like this thought process here from Humphreys and Assis Koenig.
Durant generates so much offense with his overhead, and from the backcourt with his blitzing.
There we go.
It'll be very hard to deal with it.
But you won't see any of the other things because they're going to take the air out of the ball. We won't see those cut-off drop shot winners, and when they take all those ways for Durant to win points away, see, this is smart. Yeah, go back. Then he's going to have to create them himself.
30-15.
Now they both fall back again. I wonder how much conversation Humphreys and Osses Koenig had last night about how to play these guys in this type of situation.
Yeah,
Because you're just now starting to see them adjust.
It's great, Mark, and this is where you can see the points change. Now they're getting a few errors. They're turning the tables. That's the other thing. You can turn the tables. Look at Humphreys, perfect. Don't rush in. Don't, hit a couple, go hard. Now things are changing a little bit. You could actually feel it on the court, and you could feel their energy level changing a little. I mean, Jeff Morneau's getting ready to come. He can barely contain himself. What a shot there, though, Seamer. Well done.
And that takes us to match point.
40.
Jeff Morneau bouncing around, looking forward to doing the final.
But I think this game was good. It's just been like a little things, like when you do this style, the points are so important. You can't afford to misplay that lob like in the first ball. That's just tough. You have to be so dialed in. That's a great rip. And match point here. Great volleying. Again, just textbook perfect. Broderick also uses the third panel slam really well. Good Christian. It's almost like he's become like the Zen master at this. He's really learned the style.
Volleying so well.
Oh, and there it is, game, set, and match for Broderick. And Mark I think they started to find something that could work for him a little there, just a little too late.
Yeah, two young players who'd never been exposed to that before and looked a little lost, but really nice to have them find something later in the match.
I like the way you said it. They were exposed like it was COVID or something, But, they really do have to experience that. It's just such a different mental energy on the court than anything else you play often. And, well, good news for everybody out here is all four women's players are on the court. We're going to take a quick break here, but we'll be right back on the air with our women's final round match. Mark, that was a pleasure calling it with you. Patty and Jeff are coming on. So we'll see you soon.